Well, when she was born, we didn't know what happened, but they literally kept me asleep for 2 days at the hospital. And they sent 2 strange doctors that I didn't know to talk to me and to explain to me that Lori wasn't going to make it. And I said, if she were to live, would she ever be okay? They said, she will be a complete vegetable. She will never lift a finger. And so I just said, I want to go home. For a very long time, we didn't put her in a wheelchair, you know, until my dad insisted that we do that. And she would get on the floor. We would put her on the floor. She went down there, and she would take her elbows and pull herself, and she could go, you know, all over. You know, we started to school for handicapped children. And so she had to be taken every day in a taxi and put in a wheelchair, and you know, the guy would just take her in. And she didn't care for it. After like 2 years, 3 years, she started saying, I want to go to school. I want to go to the public school, you know. 1 month in, the principal calls me, and I about had a heart attack, you know. He said, she's here to stay. And his words to me was, she's taught these children more about life than they will ever learn out of a book. She went all the way through and graduated from high school and loved it. She had issues with children, with students that tried to bully her. And but she had this, I say that all in life that she had such a determination with. I think that one thing of being able to go to public school taught her that there's plenty available for you if you just really try, you know. The other thing beautiful I think about Lori is that her brother, Todd, who was younger than her, and so here he, you know, was able to do everything that she couldn't do. And Lori understood why he could walk, and he would help her. And I told Lori, I said, Lori, if your brother ever does anything for you, it's because he loves you. And he doesn't have to do anything. You have to understand that. He's doing it because he wants to.
I met Lori in 1994. I'd gone to work for her parents. I had flown to Cincinnati to work on a property there. And she said, while you're up there, would you mind running to Columbus and helping my daughter with her condo? I said, sure, I was happy to. So that was our initial meeting, and fast forward, we just became truly the best of friends, pretty much right the first time we met. I can still see her sitting there with flowers in the airport. We just literally spent all of our time together. And you know, all the things that people do, just normal, going out to eat, shopping, traveling. And so back then when we had many hotels, Pat and I would go to Las Vegas every year for a show. And this is about 3 years after we had met her for. And so we were in Las Vegas, just talking, laughing. I said, I want to ask you something. And she said, okay. And I said, I'm thinking about asking Lori to marry me. And she didn't really respond at all at first. And then she said, I don't think you know what you're in for, what this is really like. And I said, I know I don't, but I watch y'all and I can do this. And I said, I care about her, and I always want to take care of her. Life with Lori, it's amazing. Lori's presence changed the atmosphere of a room. And it literally did. Getting ready for this, I went back through and read the post right after she was gone. And the one thing, because there were a couple of thousand that I read through, and the one word that kept coming back was her smile. And her smile, she never didn't smile. She was sick a few years ago. Even on the vent, she would open her little eyes, and I would brag on her and rub her up, and she would just smile. But she deeply cared for everybody. Many people say, I never heard her say a bad word about anybody, and that's pretty much the truth. I'm not as perfect as Lori was, and if I got in the van and said, oh, so-and-so, blah, 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 and she says, well, don't say that because you don't know why they're like that. So she taught these life lessons. I think Lori changed the whole, in many ways, the attitude and concept of somebody with a disability in our community. Lori would be thrilled about the scholarship. Lori had such a giving heart, and believed the best and wanted the best for everybody. She was so determined to make that happen. So she would love this scholarship because she did realize that the funds were not there for people that were in similar situations to hers. So for her, for this to be in her name, I mean, I can tell you on behalf of our family, there's nothing that would make us more proud. And there's nothing that would make her more proud that that's become her legacy.